Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm an exercise physiologist, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to achieve the physique that you want through nutrition and movement. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about some things specific to women as well a little bit later on in the video. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to use myself as an example. So I've been exercising for a long time. I started going back to the gym in my early 20s, and it took me a long time to figure out what movement and how much food to eat and my proper nutrition in order to achieve the body that I want and to feel the way that I wanted to feel. So in the beginning, I would do a lot of cardio and I would not eat a lot. I would starve myself basically, and I would pass out at the gym or almost pass out at the gym while on the elliptical. That happened several times. And, I felt that I looked skinny because I always wanted to look skinny, and I still like looking thin. But I didn't really understand how to feel good and do that. So to me, it was just limiting my calories and doing cardio at the time. So after that, I experimented with vegetarianism, veganism. When I was passing out at the time, I was eating chicken. But I started investigating a little bit more about what my body needed as far as nutrition. So I gained a little bit of weight. People would tell me I need to do more strength training, and I would do that. And then I would start to look a little bit thicker. And I'm not saying this can happen or this happens to everyone, but for my body type, when I start lifting really, really heavy and I work out and lift heavy weights a lot, I get really, really hungry. I'm really, really sore all the time. And I feel like I'm out of balance just with my own innate nature. So that I went through for a while. And then I gravitate more towards running. So I was like, okay, let me get into that. And so, I'm not an endurance athlete. I'm not someone who's out there running marathons. So, finding something that you can sustain throughout the decades of life. And sometimes that'll change. But that was my goal. And that's kind of like, as I got a little bit older, I realized that this is what I actually want. So the body type that we should be going after should be, if you want to have abs, if you want to have, large muscles, make sure that you're doing the right exercises to achieve that. Otherwise, you're going to get frustrated and it's not going to be goal oriented. So for example, if you want to look thicker, if you want to have large quads, you want to have big shoulders, biceps, larger muscle physique, that tends to look more masculine, you want to do exercises that, are geared more towards strength training. Basically quick bursts of movement. You want to be eating more calories, getting the right nutrition. You want to eat a lot more protein, minimal carbs and minimal fats, but you want to really be lifting heavy weights. Think CrossFit, think, just adding weight progressively, and that should get you towards that goal. Now, if your goal is to be long and lean and to have, great flexibility in your body, you don't want to necessarily be lifting heavy weights, especially as a woman. Okay, we want to be lifting weights that are light to moderate, doing high repetitions. Some suggestions I'll just put out there: ballet bar classes, Pilates reformer classes, dance classes, doing more cardio and not ignoring the strength training. But like I said, you want to do light to moderate weight, higher repetitions. So you can do one heavy day. You can do a day where you do the routine you want to do and do maybe 8 repetitions and go heavier. But that's not the majority of the time. You're not doing that all the time, because you are going to gain muscle mass, which is good, but maybe it might be a little bit more than the goal you're going after. So if you're someone who is frustrated with, not getting the results that they want, you need to really revisit your plan and figure out, am I taking the steps, doing the exercises, eating the proper way in order to get the body type that I am going after? Okay. what I suggest to you is, and what makes me happy at the end of the day, to go after the body type that I am naturally inclined to have. So look at yourself when you were a kid. Now, if you had improper nutrition, if you were overly fed as a kid, if you were overweight, doesn't mean that you're always going to be overweight throughout your life. But if you are a larger bone person or a skinnier bone person, if you're someone who likes, if you gravitate more towards strength training, it's hard to not make this offensive. I don't want to offend anyone with this. I just want to kind of get your mind around what you actually want and the steps to get there. Anyway, if you gravitate more towards cardiovascular exercise and you like running and you like just getting all that energy out, and that was me as a kid. I was always moving, I was always running around, and I just, like most kids, just want to get that energy out. And so I find that I'm still that way. If I don't get now I love spinning, if I don't get spinning in, if I don't get my run in, I really don't feel like myself and I don't feel well. So that's something that is just like, a no-brainer. I'm just going to do that for a workout. And then I'm going to force myself. I mean, some days are easier than others, and I don't hate strength training, but I realized that I prefer doing it for long, lean muscles, okay, and not necessarily bulking up. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the female physique. So throughout the past few decades, since exercise has become, something that we do, part of our daily lives, should be, we've gone through a lot of phases. So if you look in the 80s and even in the early 90s, the popular physique was for women to basically look like women, to be delicate, to be feminine, to maybe, just be longer and leaner. So in that time, the no fat thing was a fad. People were, trying to reduce calories, and we had a lot of issues with that as well. So I think coming into this time period, this 21st century, we're in 2023 now, we got to find that balance of what is really healthy for us as women, that is not going to hurt us long term, and that is going to like resonate with our souls and like our persona, like who we are as a whole. Okay, so sometimes we're doing things that, seem innocent. Okay, we're going to the gym with our friends and we're lifting really, really heavy, or maybe we see a fitness model, that we follow, and they have like, chiseled abs and, just every muscle is super defined. There is a very small part of the population that is able to achieve, as a woman, is able to achieve that type of body. So do not feel guilty. Do not feel like you're doing something wrong if you don't have this type of physique. A lot of times these women are taking hormone replacement therapy. They are doing supplements. They are doing extreme dieting, ketogenic diets, things that are not healthy long-term or for their internal environment, for their organs. They're doing this to achieve this look in order to cellular product, and just sell an image to make money. Yes, we all need to make money, but in the way that we treat ourselves is really, really important. So this past week, I had a lot of stress at work, and, my drive to work is longer now. It's about 45 minutes, and, I have a lot of time to think. And I've just been really just noticing how much people are just kind of going through the motions. And I feel like when I do that, and I go to work and I work out and I eat dinner and all the things we do the same every single day, but at some level, it starts to feel like we are just in the matrix, that we are just turning off any type of creativity or desire or just natural healthy emotions that we have, just to kind of dig our heels into the ground and do what we have to do to survive. And if you do this for long enough, it really can affect you. It really can affect us, because we were made to thrive. We were made to, just be alive. And what does that really mean? So I've been thinking a lot about that. So in relation to the workouts, okay, and I'll leave you with that thought. I trailed off a little bit there, but as far as being a woman, and working out, I really challenge you to look inside yourself and, maybe revisit your goals and see if you're actually taking the steps to get towards the person that you want to be. And also really be challenged, like, are you falling into these fads of, you're not a woman unless you're super, super strong and have these huge muscles, and I'm sorry, but sometimes look like a man. And this is the fad that we're in right now. And it takes a lot to achieve these larger muscle masses for women. And as women are aging, as we're all getting older and it's normal, it's going to be even harder. So the temptation is going to be to take supplements and hormone replacement therapy in order to achieve this. And if you don't, then say you stop working out because life happens, you're going to lose those gains and your body is just going to be what? Because there's room where the muscle was. And so we have a greater risk of having extra skin and things like that. And again, I'm not doing this to body shame anyone. I just want you to think about longevity, what you want your future to look like, and also assess how you currently feel with your current life situation, fitness routine, and nutritional habits. Are we going to be perfect all the time? No, we're gonna veer off from our goals, okay? Is there a temptation to, fall into the standards that the world sets as far as our health and fitness? Yes. Is it interesting to some point? Yeah, as we've had the Jane Fonda era, and now we're in this CrossFit era, and who knows what's going to be next? Now we have people taking that supplement. It's like the injection for diabetes, and that's helping them not eat, which is really, really sad. So women especially, have gone through great lengths to achieve a certain image. So what does the future look like? What does the future look like for us in the fitness industry and just in our own lives, being healthy and whole and well? So I like to start a movement called 21st Century Fitness Elegance, 21st Century Fitness Elegance, basically, where as women, we can feel comfortable in our bodies, we can feel, free of pain and inflammation as much as possible, and then just have flexibility and balance and strength, and actually be able to just be a delicate woman, a woman who is okay with not being as strong as a man, a woman that is respectful towards men, a woman that understands her gifts and her own unique place in her family and in her French circle and in the world, and is okay with being maybe weaker and not focusing so much on changing into being more masculine, but actually embracing the fact that femininity and being a woman is beautiful in and of itself, and it doesn't have to be changed because of various reasons. Because of pain, because of past hurts, because of, we need to suck it up and get things done. But, I think the first step is to really get yourself to a place where you're calm and just be gentle with yourself and really ask yourself what you want out of this life. Because every day, time is passing and we may not be reaching our full potential. And it doesn't mean that if we miss the mark, we have to just give up. But, just going after what would actually make us feel, like we're thriving and we're alive. It's really, really valuable, guys. And it doesn't mean that we have to be billionaires, because a lot of times those people aren't even happy. We can start with where we're at and focus on what is going to nourish us and what is good in our lives right now. So, the second step I would say is to, if you're a Christian, talk to God. If you have a relationship with God, ask Him to guide you into the steps, into becoming the person that you want to be. And if you are someone who wants to be super muscular and that's just your physique and that's how you were born to be, then go after it and don't feel bad about it. I'm talking about this fad of women, having to be more like men physically in order to just live. And if you have emotion, or if you're gentle, or if you're just a delicate person, it's seen as that you need to be stronger, you need to toughen up. Be yourself. Be yourself. If you are a sensitive person, be sensitive. Be real. Try to, exude the appropriate emotions in the most appropriate situations. We don't want to be whiny, okay? So let's look to the Bible for some guidance on that, okay? So I'm going to share with you just one Bible verse in Proverbs. It's Proverbs 31:25 through 31. And it says, "Her clothes are well made and elegant, and she always faces tomorrow with a smile. When she speaks, she has something worthwhile to say, and she always says it kindly. She keeps an eye on everyone in her household and keeps them all busy and productive." I think, going to church and growing up in church, there was such a pressure on women to be perfect and, kind of just be in the background and doing all the hard work. But I don't think that's really what this means. When I think of elegance, when I think of this concept of being, a woman and being gentle and, a weaker vessel, I think of just being calm and being in yourself, and being sad when you're sad, being happy when you're happy, and not being afraid to look bad or just be weaker. Like, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what matters is if you're happy and you feel like you're being true to who God has made you to be, right? Okay, so I found that to be a good reminder. The last thing I'll talk about today is a research article that I found on the effectiveness of change in resistance training and endurance training exercises. So the study, I'll post it, is from 2016, and basically it concluded that change was seen after 8 weeks. So if you were exercising for a month, you may not see the results that you want to see, okay? This study was done on people. They used the term over fat. So keep in mind, if you're carrying extra weight, you are going to see gains sooner, or weight loss sooner, than someone who is already lean, okay? But in this study, it says it took about 8 weeks to see that change. So you want to keep in mind that change does take time when we are exercising, and you want to find that perfect balance to where you're going to adhere to the exercise and keep going. So again, that can be dance, that can be any type of movement, Pilates, ballet, it could be spinning, whatever it is, okay? And being able to switch gears and kind of try different things throughout the decades of life to make sure that we are still moving and making it a priority, all right? And so I think it also, you can read it for yourself, but it says that the resistance training started to see gains or results faster than the endurance training. Okay, so take it for what it's worth. I always try to put some sort of exercise science information here to help you guys grow and expand your knowledge on the subject. So if you want, go ahead and check that out. I'll put that in the description below. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. If you like this concept, 21st century fitness elegance, please let me know. And I'm going to go ahead with this. So let's step into a new era. Let's, be kind to ourselves, and don't be afraid to be who you are, to look inside, have that relationship with God, and let Him mold you into the person that you're supposed to be in this life. And you don't have to be perfect all the time. You don't have to be happy all the time. You don't have to be sad all the time. Just be open to what He has for you, and let's do this together. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.